Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and one Supreme Court justice just went rogue, and it's not promising for this country. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. It really helps us out. Biden's appointed far-left Supreme Court judge or Justice Ketanji Jackson Brown, and you may know her. You may know her from the hearings where she could not define, what a woman was to her. I'm not saying her definition has to be the same as mine, but she couldn't even give you a definition, which is hilarious. But you may remember her from that. She now is saying, she made a very, very thinly veiled attack on President Donald Trump and Republicans, talking about how she's terrified about the attacks on justice and judges and the law. But as Mark Levin points out, where was she when Schumer was threatening Supreme Court justices? Where was she when Kavanaugh was almost attacked? Where was she for these things? Where was she for the absolute assault on the law that has happened for the past 4 years at the hands of the Democrat Party? Where has she been? Where is she right now on the activist judges absolutely overstepping their constitutional bounds to play lawfare games with President Donald Trump? Where is she? This woman is not, in my opinion, a legal person. She's not a justice, though very qualified to be. Disagree with her on every issue, but she's very qualified to be. But that's not what she is. She's a political creature. She's a political person. That's what she is. And you can either be a political creature or a servant of the people, but you can't be both unless, of course, you're a politician. But if you're dealing in the legal realm, if you're dealing on the Supreme Court, yes, you have ideological values that you hold near and dear to your heart, but you are not supposed to play politics like she is doing right now, coming out against the President of the United States without naming his name, but it's very obvious who she's talking about. I want you to hear Mark Levin's take on this, and let me know what you think in the comments.
Welcome back, America. I really want to get into this judge issue now. Ketanji Brown Jackson, she's a justice on the Supreme Court, gave a really unveiled attack on President Trump, I felt, in defense of these rogue activist Democrat judges. She says, according to Reuters, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Jackson said attacks by President Donald Trump and his Republican allies on judges were not random and seemed designed to intimidate the judiciary. Jackson, appointee of former Democratic President Joe Biden, did not mention Trump by name, but spoke about the elephant in the room. The combative atmosphere under the Trump administration has raised concerns from some legal experts of a potential constitutional crisis. I got to say, I'm kind of sick and tired of our media and Jackson, who wouldn't even tell us what a woman is because she was so political, playing to the very extreme base of the Democrat Party. Justice Jackson has been absolutely silent when she was a lower court judge, when Chuck Schumer really threatened two Supreme Court justices, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. Absolutely silent in all the Democrat Party talk about packing the court, expanding its numbers for the reason of creating a Politburo. Absolutely silent when her colleagues on the court, Thomas and Alito, come under brutal assault by Congress. Absolutely silent. When the Dobbs decision came down and people were threatening Supreme Court justices at their home, trying to intimidate them, that didn't cause her to say a word about anything whatsoever. I could go on and on and on about Justice Jackson and her silence, except now when she speaks out. And John, you don't have to agree with me, of course. My problem is this. President Trump is addressing a serious constitutional problem with a phalanx of, not completely, but mostly Democrat-appointed judges, progressives, as Schumer himself called them, who were installed, and a complete project by the Democrat lawyers and a project by their judicial appointment process to do exactly what they're doing. And Donald Trump is questioning it. He's raising questions about what they're doing constitutionally.